What's happening, guys? It's Bree. Today I'm coming at you with something a little bit different. I want to have a chit chat about the movie called Lolita. It's a 1997 film. It was one of the most controversial films, and I really want to give my input on this movie. I want to start out by the fact that so many people think that this man was so sick, he was so disturbed, he was so mentally ill that he was drawn to this young girl. However, there are definitely two ways of looking at the movie. I have not read the book, but from my understanding, the book was much different than the movie spinoff. In the movie, Lolita, they call her Lo. In the movie, they call Lo a very, very innocent, sweet girl. That's how people on the internet want to talk about her. But really, if anybody's seen this movie, and if you haven't, right after this, hop over on YouTube. You can actually watch it on YouTube. This girl was a fucking whore. That is the very truth of it all. She is 12 years old, but trust me, this girl is a whore. She knows what she's doing. Let me get into a little summary of the movie. So basically, it's a French-American drama film. It's about a man who is looking for a place to stay. So basically, he's looking for a place to stay. And he finds this one place, and this woman is giving him a tour of it. It's basically her house. And so I guess, in my mind, I'm thinking probably because of the price is good or whatever, he's going to stay here and rent a room. So he takes the tour, and you can tell through the whole tour, he's just kind of like, no, I don't really want to stay here. It just feels small. It feels gross. Like, you could just tell his expression, his demeanor, he doesn't want to stay there. So anyway, the mom takes him all the way through the house and out the back. And when she walks him out the back, you see a young girl laying in the grass. She's in a very, very slick see-through blouse. She's laying on a towel in the yawn, and she's got the sprinkler, and it's all over her body. She's soaking wet. Like, this is some To Catch a Predator, Lauren and Kayla kind of interaction here. He sees the way that she looks, and he just gets this glow on her face. And you could tell up to this point, he did not want to take this house. He did not want it. He did not want to rent the room. He was about to bail. When he sees this young girl, she's actually 14, but to me she looks like she's 12. He sees this young girl, and he instantly falls in love, almost like love at first sight. He sees this girl, and he's just like, yes, girl, yes, I'm going to rent this room, yes, boo boo. And so basically he ends up deciding, yes, I'm going to stay here. His first night there, you can see him, he's looking through the door, and you can see him, he's like trying to see her undress and stuff like that. And at first, for anybody that could see that, they would kind of be like, okay, like, what a creep, what the fuck is this guy doing? But then you notice that Lo sees him looking, and she kind of eggs him on. She does these little batty little eyes. She pulls up her blouse, exposing her underwear so he can see, and she can just tell. And it may just be too, she's young, she's curious, her sexuality is just booming, but she can tell. And it's just so funny because she acts so childish too. She goes downstairs, and I don't know, it's like she's not wearing any pants or anything. She looks pretty much naked, and she's just there eating ice cream on the kitchen floor. And the writer that moved in, the old man, he sees that she's down there, and he kind of goes and looks, and he almost looks like he's basically masturbating, like, when he's watching her, which is kind of like, okay, like, do your thing, like, nobody's gonna judge you, nobody's gonna be hating, but And from there, it just kind of moves on and procrastinates. Lo will come in the room and she kind of like, oh, well, what are you doing? And she'll kind of rub up on him. Like, she sits on his lap at one point, and then, the mom comes and they freak out because they hear her. And they, she runs away and she's like, okay, I wasn't doing anything. Try to make it discreet, like nobody knows. So what ends up happening is, and I can't remember if it was before or after this, basically the girl is out of control. The mom cannot handle her and she ends up sending her off to like a girls' boarding school sort of camp. And the mom ends up thinking that her and this man have a relationship when it's like, could not be farther from the truth, really. He just wants to get it in with that daughter. He wants to fuck the shit out of her. So really she gets the wrong impression, which I guess is good because it's a good cover for him. He's not getting in any trouble at the end of the day, but he ends up marrying her. Yes, he does. He ends up marrying her, so he ends up kind of turning into Lo's stepdad, or stepdad, yeah. Yeah, he ends up... And how it happens is so funny. There is a couple of times, because he's a writer, he writes everything about this girl, every little thing he sees about her, what he thinks beautiful about her legs, about her little childish body. He's writing all this shit down in a journal, which he's been keeping locked up in his desk for a long time. The mom has seen the journal and she wants to know what's in it. She's like, well, what are you writing about? And he always just kind of jokes. Like, he makes a couple remarks and jokes that kind of is the truth, but, obviously she doesn't think that. And she's just, ho, 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 just laughing like it's a funny thing. He ends up coming home one day and finds that the mom's there reading the journal. And she basically goes ballistic. Like, what the hell? Which I guess any mom would do, any old man fantasizing about her 12, 14-year-old daughter. Like, what the hell is this? And this and that. And that part, it really picks up. The climax really picks up there. He offers to go make some drinks for them. He says, let me go make a drink, darling. We'll talk about this. And he basically says that he tries to cover it, saying that, no, that's not what I was trying to do. No, it's just, I forgot exactly his excuses, but at a point, you almost think he kind of convinces her. But when he comes back to give her her drink that he makes for her, she's not there. And then you hear the neighbors screaming and everything outside. She ends up running outside and getting hit by a car and dying. So what goes on from here is this man is finally free to live his obsession with little Lolita. So he ends up going to the school that she was sent off to, picking her up and telling her, look, your mom was in an accident, this and that. And it seems like they start kind of developing into a relationship because, I don't know, it's the way that she kind of comes about it, like, oh, did you miss me? Like, were you with anybody else? Like, it was like an unspoken love that they had from the beginning. They end up traveling, basically. They end up going on road trips. They end up just traveling like crazy. There's a part that kind of gets confusing where she ends up running off and he's looking for her. She ends up running off with another older dude. And it breaks this man's heart. And I can see why, because it was like, from such a young age, he was in love with her. Like, for her being a young age, obviously, because, he's in his middle-aged man. But, and he's not bad looking either, to be quite frank with you. But, so, when they're traveling, he ends up losing her. Literally, he ends up losing her. He turns around like, where is she? Where is she? And he ends up going home. He does not hear from her for, I forgot how long, but it was within years' time. And when he hears from her, she says she's pregnant, she's living here, this, and that. He ends up going to her. He thinks that it's some he's gonna get some sort of apology. They're gonna be together. I don't know exactly what else he thought, but that's the main impression he got from that. When he shows up at the house, oh, my husband's outside. Like, do you want to meet him? This and that. He's like, no. He ends up giving her a bunch of money, and he wants it to be like, you can tell, he wants it to be like, hey, like, we're meant to be together. But she ends up just turning out bitchy. Like, bitchy as fuck. She's slutty as fuck in the beginning, and she's bitchy as fuck in the end. It pretty much ends there. He doesn't end up with her. It's very sad to me. But I don't know. It was a relationship that I really, really wanted to work out. Him being middle-aged in his 40s, 50s, it did not matter. He was in love with the girl, but the whole time the girl's just playing him, just trying to use him. She's acting all slutty to other men, too, older men. It's just disappointing to see because I was expecting more from the relationship. I really, really enjoyed this movie. It is an old movie, yes. You can hop on over to YouTube, which you're on right now, quite frankly, but it is on here. The full movie is on here. I think I saw it was in 2 different parts, but amazing movie. I like that this movie was made in 1997. This was made a year before I was born, and it's like they were able to get away like with this movie. Like, yes, it was a big controversy, but it's just a good movie, especially for people who really want to see something different. For people that want to see how far directors can, push things, like how far they can go and let it slide. Great movie. That's pretty much all I want to say about the movie in itself. Something that I have recently found online is that I've found really interesting, actually. They're from the Japanese, they originate from the Japanese culture. They're called Lolitas. The ones I'm most interested in, they are called Sweet Lolitas, and they wear all pastel, pink, blue, purple, all light colors. They wear wigs. They wear crazy bows, stickers on their face. I mean, they have a very, very interesting look. But what's most peculiar about it is the dresses they wear. They look like little girl dresses. They literally look like little girl dresses. And I found it so funny, and I think that they get irritated because I started watching some of the videos like that talk about who they are, what they do. I think they get offended because a lot of people think that it's a fetish or they just want to be like a little kid, and apparently it's not. But after seeing this movie and getting so into it, and then seeing somebody who calls himself a Lolita that dresses like a little girl, I find that fucking hilarious. I'll be very honest with you. Still don't understand the culture. I just got into seeing all these different Japan-like cultures, and just, again, the names that they call themselves, Lolita. I'm like, oh, okay. So you looking for a middle-aged dude too? Are you trying to act like you're a little 12-year-old too? I don't know, you guys. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching.